retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Oh yeah, we want retribution. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Beat in the streets, it's a new sensation. I wanna break faces on the pavement. I wanna make greatness look complacent. Adrenaline awakened, I can taste it. We can make an impact, grab it and taste it. Like a disease, bring to their knees. No takes to take to see. Just like a weed.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am the one and only DJ Storms. I would like to welcome each and every single one of you back here to a very special edition Thursday stream. It is February 19th, 2026, as we are headed towards the end of February. 2 months of 2026 almost gone. It is absolutely unbelievable. I cannot even begin to wrap my head around it. But here we are, and we are getting closer and closer to the springtime where we got 2 major shows. Of course, the major show that this show will be focused around will be Vindication. And then, of course, we got Off the Rails coming up. As per usual, I'm not alone. My first guest here on this very special edition stream, she is one of the lead color commentators on my shows. She's been making waves over as the lead announcer at Truly Independent Wrestling. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome back Billy Ann Wolf. Billy, how are you doing this evening?
What is up, DJ Storms? Glad to be back, dude.
It has certainly been a long road, and it's your first appearance here on the channel in 2026, and we certainly got a lot to talk about because you have not gotten the chance to analyze what's going down this spring with these 2 major events, especially since Vindication now is set in stone. We got all the matches laid out across the board. But before we get into that, we do have 2 more guests. My second guest here on the show, he is the founder of Around the Ropes podcast. He was one of the lead commentators over at Battle in the Borough 1, and he has been following these shows very closely. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John Blaine. John, how we doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I'm glad to be back, and boy, this Vindication looked pretty damn good.
I've been getting that a lot over the course of the last couple weeks, man, and trust me, we got a lot to talk about and very interested to see your reactions to a couple of people that have been throwing out some words, including Ray Calitri, Rick Recon, Daniel Alexander, and we also got some news in regards to Off the Rails. But before we get into that, my final guest, first time here on the channel, he's been making waves over at Titan Championship Wrestling. He is the winner of the 2025 Mount Olympus Rumble, and he main evented the 6-year anniversary show down in Bayville against TCW World Heavyweight Champion Anthony Gangone. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the channel the real Jack Martins. Big Jack, how we doing, brother?
One hell of an introduction, brother. I'm doing great. How is everybody else doing?
Awesome.
We are doing fantastic, brother, and trust me, we got a lot to talk about here on the channel. But before we get into any announcements, and I got a big announcement to start off the show, we're going to go around the table here. Where can everyone find everyone on social media? We'll start with Billy. Where can everyone find you on social media?
Just look up Your Friend Billy. I think I'm Your Friend Billy on pretty much everything at this point. Or Facebook, I think, is Billy Ann Wolf. But that's about it. And you can find me at The Dynasty and at Truly Independent Wrestling.
Mr. John Blaine.
Search Around the Ropes on YouTube, Facebook. Just search John Blaine. You can catch me at Dynasty as well sometimes, or Bree Combination, or Titan, basically wherever my car will allow me to go.
Big Jack.
You can find me everywhere on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. Pretty much everywhere there's a social media, you'll find me at The Real Jack Martins.
And ladies and gentlemen, of course, me, you can find me on X and Instagram at HistoryMakerDJS. That is at HistoryMakerDJS because all I do is make history in everything that I do. You can check me out on Facebook as well for collaborations and business inquiries. Please send me an email. My email is, of course, StormsTakeOver@gmail.com. Like the official DJ Storms business page on Facebook. You can buy your tickets for Vindication and Off the Rails via Venmo, Cashapp. My Venmo is DJ Storms. My Cashapp is the DJ Storms. Or you can call 201-835-7482. We got some front row seats left. You are not going to want to miss these shows. Why? You'll find out by the end of the stream. You can also hit the subscribe button, turn on that bell for all notifications, and of course, share the stream out. We are live on 4 platforms right now. We are live on Facebook, X, Rumble, and YouTube. Nice wide outreach. We want to get as many people as possible talking about these big shows. Now then, our first major announcement. The real Jack Martins will be in attendance. He is going off the rails on May 3rd, 2006 in the Clifton Boys and Girls Club. What will his match be? Well, you're going to have to wait because we got a lot to be announced for Off the Rails in the coming weeks. And, of course, a lot that happens on Vindication will have profound effects on Off the Rails. But we're going to throw it over to Big Jack for a minute. I actually want to throw it over to you. And please, for everyone that does not know who you are, please tell everyone how you got started in this business.
Well, it was kind of unexpected. I wanted to start training when I was like 18, 19, when a lot of other people start training, but life just didn't work out that way. I ended up getting in a pretty bad spot, and then I ended up deciding to go to a Planet Fitness one day, and my luck happened to just be there where I met the Jay the Key Evans, who just happened to be working there. And I was wearing a wrestling hoodie. He stopped me. We started talking about wrestling. And I wondered who he was, and then it kind of clicked for me where I had seen him at an independent show a couple years before, and him and another wrestler who is on your show, Vindication, Tony Cheney, were the only 2 wrestlers that I remembered seeing that day. They were the only 2 that really stuck in my mind. So Jay offered to bring me around and teach me some things that he could teach me at the time, but he didn't really have the time nor the tools to teach me what needed to be taught. So he handed me over to Tony Cheney, and the rest is history. I ended up kind of backdooring my way through the business in a very not so stereotypical way of going to a school and doing all that. I just kind of learned as I went.
I mean, Tony Cheney, if there's any guy to backdoor your way in with, it is Tony Cheney because, Tony Cheney, crazy enough, man, Tony Cheney has been an avid watcher of me when I was doing wrestling analytics on the channel since 2018, which is absolutely unbelievable when you think about it. I actually got to sit down with him for an interview back in May of last year leading up to Off the Rails, #1, and then he ended up being on my team for the big Team Savage versus Team Storms match at Battle in the Borough 2, which Billy was on the call for. We'll show some clips of that as well. But it's actually pretty interesting. It's actually pretty interesting, man. But those 2 guys, love those 2 guys. Love Jay the Key Evans, love Tony Cheney. They will both be at Vindication, and we will talk about that a little bit later. But I want to shift gears now.
Everybody's at Vindication.
Yeah, I know, right? I want to shift gears now because you recently just had a massive match a couple weeks back. It was it was at the 6-year anniversary for Titan Championship Wrestling, or Devout Championship Wrestling, and it was against none other than what many people call one of the best, if not the best, big match wrestler on the East Coast today. I'm talking about Dr. Sleep, Anthony Gangone. Unfortunately, you were screwed out of that match by Mr. Michael Fane. Fane's actually got a title shot coming up against Gangone this Saturday in Waretown, which I will be there in attendance for. I actually wanted to get your thoughts on, as far as this big match on Saturday relates, and what are your thoughts coming out of this match with Anthony Gangone?
Well, first off, the match I had with Gangone, I'm very proud of in terms of my performance and what we were able to bring to the table. Gangone did what he always does. He always has to find some sneaky way to keep that title around his waist, which he did. And even in a unintentional way, he was able to screw me out of it with the unintentional help of Michael Fane, who I thought was my friend, but turns out not so much. He always called me, especially in the latest promo he did, which you could find on Titan Championship Wrestling's Facebook. He called me a jealous... Am I allowed to curse on here? Okay. All right. He called me a jealous bitch. And listen, while he was away crying to his pillow and, just wondering why not him? Why couldn't he have the championship shots? Why couldn't he collect all the titles that I was collecting while he was away and just not showing up for anything, really? Mind you, yes, he was injured. I understand, but he didn't even decide to show up and keep showing face. So I took the reins and decided to take the Tarjanian Talent Agency where it needed to be, and that was with 2 championships at the same time. And although I did lose them to Tony Cini in a ladder match at Mount Olympus, even though I kind of gave it to him, you got to watch the match to understand what I'm saying. So
I was there, bro. I was there.
Yeah. Go for anybody watching who didn't, go watch it on IWTV. You can watch that match in its entirety and the rest of Mount Olympus and the upcoming show for Titan Championship Wrestling this Saturday. After that, I ended up winning Mount Olympus to get the title shot, and I was this close. Everything Anthony Gangone threw at me, I had an answer for. But then Fane just couldn't take that I was in front and he wasn't. So he may have this title match this Saturday against Anthony Gangone, but whether he wins or loses, he knows, and I've told him this straight to his face, I will be there when he least expect it to make sure he does not have that title anymore.
I'm going to be keeping an eye out for that, that's for sure. But I actually want to throw it over to the table. Let's start with Billy. Billy, you got any questions for Big Jack over here?
How long have you been at Titan? So I used to drive. The farthest I've ever gone for a show to watch as a fan was Titan. Like, I miss that place so much. So how long have you been there? What else? What other notable matches have you had with Titan?
With Titan, I'm gonna be honest. I've been there for a good year and a half out of the 2 and change years I've been wrestling. So a majority of my tenure as a pro wrestler, I've been with Titan, and a majority of the matches I've had, to be honest, have been with Tony Cini, because me and him had our issues for a long time. But once I got away from him, I started having matches just everywhere against different people. Like recently, I was at Battlefield Pro Wrestling in PA, where I faced Rico Gold for the U.S. title over there. I faced, obviously, Anthony Gangone. I've faced Joe Clean. I've faced Nick Cardinal. I've faced a good talent before, but I'm always looking to reach higher than I am.
That's awesome, man. Keep it up. I got to get back down there for sure.
Yes, absolutely. We got great shows coming up, especially this Saturday. Make sure you get your tickets.
And I'm going to throw it over to Mr. Blaine now. What you got?
Jack, I think your debut at Titan, if I remember correctly, was at the Seaside show last year, right?
No. My debut was actually, I want to say, I can't remember the exact day. It was actually the day PJ Savage became TCW heavyweight champion. Whenever that show was, I was on the pre-show against Blocks as a replacement for, I believe, Jocko that day. It was actually quite a while before that, but it wasn't any main shows until the Seaside show, really. So you're half right.
Well, I bring it up because I remember being down there, and I remember seeing you in action, and I was sitting there. I'm like, you have everything. You have the it factor, you have the look, and when you had the opportunity, you won the Mount Olympus title. Mount Olympus, you were up against Gangone. Obviously, we know now what ended up happening with Billy Fatskinell aligning with them and all that stuff.
Yep.
What's the feeling like in the locker room with how
with the Devout in charge,
kind of taking over?
It's not. I won't say it's down, but it's more like it feels like now we have something to prove, that they're not in charge of us, we're in charge of them, and they need to realize you got to know your place. Just because you have the championships doesn't mean that you're better than us. That doesn't mean that you're better than the people. So we gotta we got to step up as much as they've stepped up in terms of taking control and get it back. And that's what I was trying to do this past show, but Fane had to put himself first. So bigger picture needs to be seen by a lot more guys. I think that's where we're headed right now and trying to get across to the rest of the locker room.
Jealousy is a very ugly thing, bro.
Yes. Yeah, it kills a lot of talent, and it kills a lot of drive for a lot of people.
I'll tell you this, though. One guy that certainly has drive, and in his words, a big killer instinct is Bruno. Big Bruno, El Oso Blanco himself. He was supposed to be on the stream tonight, but he ended up telling me he actually felt offended that I would even ask him to be on this show because he feels as though he's better than this. And I'll tell you something right here. Bruno, he has really been looking to start fresh in 2026, and he's looking to do that on May 30th because in the co-main event of Off the Rails, the same show that you will be on, he has got a first-time ever match. His debut in Clifton will be a first-time ever matchup against none other than TCW standout and ECPW standout. I'm talking about Zombie King Jr. Flo. And Bruno actually came to me at late last year, and he said that he wanted Junior Flo. So I gave it to him. And I actually do have a little promo from Junior Flo, or not Junior Flo, from Bruno. He actually put it out on social media earlier this week, and he certainly had a lot to say. I would like you all to turn your attention right here, and you'll hear what Bruno had to say about his upcoming match with Junior Flo.
Junior Flo, they call you the Zombie King, and I'm not here to pretend that you're not good. You've got the look, you've got the movement, you've got the crowd behind you. You've got everything it takes to succeed in this business, except killer instinct. See, you perform, I punish. While you've been playing Undead King, I've been grinding. 80-hour work weeks, driving trucks all day, training at night, bleeding in rings up and down the East Coast. Nothing was handed to me. I earned it. Every championship, every ounce of respect, every opportunity. Because when that bell rings, something switches in me. I don't hesitate. That's the difference. You rise from the grave. I put people in it. May 30th in Clifton, New Jersey. This isn't a horror show. It's pressure. And pressure breaks people. Junior, at Off the Rails, te regreso a la tumba. Para siempre, hijo de la gran puta. Patria y vida.
And he certainly did not mince words whatsoever.
I don't speak Spanish, and I still understood a couple of those.
Well, needless to say, Bruno is hell-bent on showing everyone that he is the standard bearer here on the East Coast. And he said a lot of things that did hold true. One thing that he did not mention, and I do want to bring this up, is he was actually on my first show ever back on October 19th, 2024, Battle in the Borough 1. And I know John Blaine knows a lot about this because me and him, we called Bruno's match. It was against a man who is now Bruno's tag team partner, Bruno's associate. I'm talking about Mateo Marcelos. And I would like to turn your attention to this video right here where Bruno ended up defeating Mateo. Take a look.
He's almost showing sympathy.
He's laughing. Mateo is laughing at Bruno. And he's like crawling up Bruno just to get vertical. And the defiance within Mateo.
Is that going to be a smart move if I'm Mateo?
No! And a throat thrust. Bruno! The Goozle! Choke slam into the flatliner! Last rites for Mateo Marcelos. Sweet bragging rights for Bruno.
I said this throughout the whole match. Even though Mateo was getting the respect out of him, Bruno always was a step ahead.
Oh, absolutely, Mr. Blaine.
And this,
you know, Mateo, he fought. The crazy thing about it all is the fact that now Mateo will be in Bruno's corner at Off the Rails when he fights the Zombie King Jr. flow. So I'd actually like to go around the table here and get everyone's analysis on this big match. We'll start with Jack Martins. Big Jack, what you got?
Well, first off, I think Bruno's got a little thing twisted with Zombie King Jr. Flow. Junior Flow is a lot more than what he leads on. He's strong as shit. He really is, like, especially for his size. Recently, he posted a video where he was doing pull-ups with essentially his own body weight attached to him. So I could barely do 10 pull-ups on my own straight. He's doing it with double the weight that he already has. So he's a lot stronger than he leads on. And he wasn't given anything. He has worked very, very hard for what he has gotten and very hard for how far he's gotten. And his story alone, if you haven't looked into it, you need to go find out for yourself, because this man's story is almost unbelievable. And there's a reason why he is called the Zombie King, because I don't even think death is enough to take him out. So, but also Bruno, I will say, he is an intimidating man. He's even bigger than me, and I stand at 6'4", 220 pounds. He's a very big man. He's very dominant, and he has been dominant across many different promotions. So he's no one to sneeze at either. This is going to be an interesting one, full of strong men and high-flying action. You're not going to want to miss this one.
Who do you think is going to walk out with the W?
I don't know, man. I think Junior Flow might have to do a little bit more than crawling out of the grave to get out of it, because Bruno might be the one to put him in. I think I'm going to give the edge right now to Bruno.
Mr. John Blaine, the floor is yours.
My thing with this is, we saw in the promo with Bruno, is he going to let emotions get the best of him? And you were saying before how he has to prove something. Is he gonna go into this match with a clear mind? Or is he gonna have this chip on his shoulder, say, put himself in that position? As far as who I see winning this, I've said this before. Bruno's a big man. And I'm surprised, somebody like the size of Junior Flow, and I'm surprised a lot of small wrestlers don't do this. You take the bigger wrestlers out by the knees. Almost. So I gotta agree with Jack. I hate to say it, I think it's gonna be Bruno right now.
Billy?
Well, first off, I'm absolutely terrified of Bruno. I don't get scared of mini wrestlers, but I obviously, there's something about him that's terrifying, other than just being giant. But Zombie King is Zombie King for a reason. Can you hear me? I'm cutting out. Awesome.
You're all good on my end.
Thank you. Awesome. It was my computer. All right. But yeah, Zombie King, you don't expect his strength for sure. Pretty much everything that they just said. You don't expect his strength, and I think Bruno's going to underestimate him, honestly. I think Junior Flow might have it.
You know what? It's tough for me to predict. I'm actually going to hold off on it for now, but I do want to mention a couple things that actually do pertain to Off the Rails, and they actually are involved with Vindication coming up on April 11th. Daniel Alexander, he's got a big match coming up on April 11th, and he will be taking on none other than the Perfect Ratio, Adonis Stone. And this is a big match. Yes, this is a big match that has been building for a long, long, long time. And we actually do have some words from Daniel Alexander. Take a listen right here.
Say man, hey man, hey man, this is the next big deal in the energy, Mr. 1-800 Bangers, Daniel Alexander. And damn, after winning the Grand Dragon Rumble, after the Battle of the Borough main event that I won, beating Tiberius and Anthony Gangone alongside my tag team partners, Tony Cini, and the man I'll face at the next upcoming event, Adonis Stone. Nobody will slow Mr. 1-800 Banger down. These body shots will make anybody body rock. And I respect you, Adonis Stone, but you will not slow down my momentum. So when it comes to Mr. 1-800 Bangers advancing into this four-way, be prepared.
So when it comes down to this is not just a regular match that's going down on April 11th, because the winner of this match will go to Off the Rails, and it has been made official that at Off the Rails we will see the Savage Heavyweight Championship, currently held by Ox Adams right now. It will be defended in a fatal four-way match. Right now, Papa Don is the current man in this match. He is the only man in this match right now, specifically because of the fact that he is undefeated in North Jersey, so he does not have to qualify. But the winner of Daniel Alexander versus Adonis Stone will gain entry into this match. We're going to go around the table and get everyone's analysis on this match. Let's start off with Billy. What you got?
I am Daniel Alexander all the way. I absolutely love Adonis Stone too, but this kid is unstoppable, especially after the last show. Outstanding. I'm hooked. I'm sold, dude.
John, what you got?
I said it before. Daniel Alexander's on a run right now. He had the moment at the last show. He won the Grand Rumble for Bray. It's tough to stop somebody's momentum like this. So to me, it's got to be Daniel on this one.
Big Jack.
You know, I hate to be along with the crowd because I tend to stray away from it, but Daniel Alexander's got that it factor, man. I've known him for pretty much the entire time I've been a pro wrestler, and every time he goes out there, he shows up and he shows out. I got to give it to Daniel Alexander. He's someone that you can't knock down. You just can't. So he's the guy for me.
You know what? I'm going to have to go with it as well. I think we're Daniel Alexander across the board here.
But mad props to Adonis Stone because
oh, no, absolutely.
That man has blew my mind at your last show. So
oh, no, absolutely. And it's funny that you mentioned that because that's exactly what I was going to show. If you guys did not see this, anyone who did not see this, listen here. Adonis Stone is smaller than me. I'm only like 5'8". I'm 160 pounds. Adonis Stone's like 5'5". This man has an unbelievable amount of strength to a point where I don't even know if the man is human at this rate. You don't believe me? Watch this.
Still on his feet.
Two big blocks to the outside. Both men now it's just Stone.
Oh, Stone's got him up. Stone's got him up.
Oh, my goodness. What strength.
Oh, my God. Adonis Stone showing his.
Might I remind you that Ox Adams is 7 foot tall, 350 pounds, and this man picked him up and walked around with him for like almost 10 seconds. It's unbelievable.
I
Absolutely
barely could stay still at the commentary table. Like, I was jumping. I was like, no way.
I'm telling you. And by the way, you saw my reaction? That was a genuine reaction. That was a real genuine. I literally just froze for 5 seconds when he did that. Absolutely unbelievable.
The dude's insane. Insane.
I know, right? It's unbelievable. But sticking with this off-the-rails fatal four-way, let's talk about this match. This is another qualifying match. I'm talking about the headhunter, Anthony Gracia, versus Jack, your boy, Tony Cheney. This is a big one. Tony Cheney was actually involved in that six-man tag team match at Battle in the Borough 2. He aided Adonis Stone in eliminating Ox Adams from that match. Now he's got an opportunity to advance to the fatal four-way, but he needs to get past Anthony Gracia. Now, Anthony Gracia, I'll tell you this. This is his debut in Rutherford, New Jersey at the first ever Vindication event. And I will say this, Tony Cheney, he has been gaining a lot of traction wherever he goes, and he's been winning a lot of championships. Anthony Gracia, I don't know. Listen, Tony Cheney calls himself hungry. Something tells me that Anthony Gracia is starving, and I mean starving for an opportunity. We'll throw it over to Jack. What are your thoughts on this match?
Well, I do agree with you that Big Ant is starving for an opportunity. That man wants it more than almost anybody I know, besides me, of course. Big Ant,
I knew you were going to say
Big Ant, me and him were very close. Same with Tony Cheney. We're both very close. The problem I see here is experience. Anthony Gracia, he's just like me. He's only a few years in, but he's been working his ass off. He's got a look. He's got the strength. He's got everything that you would want in a big man. But Tony Cheney, he's got way more experience under his belt, and he has faced many like Anthony Gracia before. So, unfortunately for Big Ant, this is not a knock on him, and this is not me doubting his ability, not even in the slightest. And I think there is a very real possibility of a huge upset in this match. but I do, as of right now, have the edge to Tony Cini.
John Blaine, let me hear it.
I think Jack kind of nailed it right on the head. I think experience was going to play a huge role in this. I mean, you look at Tony Cini, he's very much like Daniel Alexander. You can't put him down. And he'll fight to the end. I mean, we started the last show. And he'll ride in with that mentality going into the show, I feel like.
Billy?
Yeah, I don't know much at all about Anthony Garcia. I said Garcia, sorry. But I can't ever bet against Tony Cini.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm actually going to make a shot in the dark here. I actually believe that Anthony Garcia might very well pull off the upset. There's something that I have seen in Anthony Garcia recently, and I do believe that he is looking for that breakout moment, and he's going to bring every ounce of aggression that he could possibly bring in this match. And Tony Cini, he's in a little bit of a slump right now. He recently lost his championships to Joey Conway back at the Titan Championship Wrestling 6-year anniversary show. So as of right now, Tony Cini is fighting from the ground up once again. And I do believe that Anthony Garcia, since he has not had that big moment yet, he's going to be looking for that. And it all starts with a win at Vindication. We're going to take a look at the final qualifying match, and probably the most important qualifying match out of all the qualifying matches going down at Vindication, because it's not just a qualifying match. It is for the Savage Heavyweight Championship. I'm talking about PJ Savage versus Mr. 100 Proof Ox Adams with, of course, the Greek Savage in his corner. And if you guys don't know the history here, let me run you all up to speed here. It was supposed to be PJ Savage competing at Off the Rails back on May 31st last year in the inaugural Savage Heavyweight title tournament. He had to pull out. He was replaced by Danger Ross. Many people said that PJ Savage was going to win the whole thing, but he did not show. Why? He had to go through some personal issues. For 6 months, PJ Savage was away. Ox Adams ended up winning the championship. And out of nowhere, to be quite honest with you, I didn't even think he was going to show up. He reached out to me, but I did not believe that he was going to show up at Battle in the Borough 2 until it actually happened. Take a look.
Needed, so unnecessary.
Wait a minute.
What is
Wait a
that?
minute. Who's that? Wait a minute. Is this? Don't tell me. Is that? Wait a minute. You got to be kidding me. Is this?
No way.
Is this? Is this? No! Oh my God!
Goodness!
PJ Savage! The man who held the Titan World Heavyweight Championship for nearly 17 months!
This night has just begun and the surprises are turning out left and right.
This is a man who has dominated the independent scene in New York for years. And not just that, Mark. This was the man who was supposed to compete in the Savage Heavyweight Championship tournament back at Off the Rails. He had to pull out due to personal issues. But after 6 months, PJ Savage is back. PJ Savage shocked the world, to say the least, back on November 1st last year. And he made it clear. He wants the championship that bears his name. And I don't want to be the guy that airs dirty laundry, but I have been hearing that Ox Adams is not too happy with Savage, that being the Greek Savage right now. Why? Because it was Savage, Greek Savage, who chose Ox Adams' tag team partners back at Battle in the Borough 2, and there was miscommunication with Tiberius Asante, which led to Ox Adams' elimination. So I don't know about you guys, but I do believe that that could very well play into effect in this match. Ox Adams, he has been ranking up the wins in multiple different promotions across multiple different states, and he's been ranking up wins over the likes of Trey Felipe, Danger Ross, Daniel Alexander here in North Jersey, and now he goes into a big match against PJ Savage. This one could very well steal the entire show. You want to talk about Godzilla versus Kong? You're looking at it. Billy, give me your expertise analysis on this match.
Well, looking at that graphic, I kind of just wish it was 2 against 1 and they could just both gang up on Greek Savage. But I'm really pulling for PJ Savage. I've been a big fan for years. I don't know. I think there's going to be too much trouble between Greek and Ox. I think there's going to be issues, and I think PJ Savage is the kind of guy that could definitely take advantage of that.
So you think that PJ Savage will be defending that championship at Off the Rails?
Absolutely.
Now here's a bigger question. Will he walk out of Off the Rails as the champion? Should he beat Ox?
That's one thing at a time, my friend. One thing at a time.
All right, we'll move on to the co-founder of Around the Ropes podcast, Mr. Blaine. Let me hear you.
This one's a tough one because of the fact that Ox, he has the size. Greek is in his corner. But like you said before, though, there is that communication issue. There is that trust issue, though. We saw PJ at the last show. DJ, we had him on the last.
That was the first show that we did. We had PJ on the first show.
And you heard it in his voice back then. He wants this. This one's going to be tough. This one, I don't see this being a match. I see this being a fight.
Oh, no. Clear as day. Clear as day. To be quite honest with you, we may have to reinforce the ring for this one.
Good idea.
This one, as far as who wins this, I hate to say it, I think PJ walks out of this. I do. There's something that I think the trust issue, I think, is going to play a huge factor in this.
Here's the question. Should Ox Adams lose? Will Ox Adams still be willing to have the Greek Savage in his corner?
I certainly hope not. Hi, Greek.
Is he here? No, he's not here, thankfully. Thankfully, he's not here. He's not in the chat trying to ruin my stream once again. He's been in the last 3 shows trying to ruin the stream.
I know he'll watch eventually, though. So.
Yeah, he'll watch eventually. Jack Martins, this is a big one, and I'm very curious to hear your analysis on this match.
Of course, I always have my my eyes on the main title picture. I've known PJ, like I said, since I've been in Titan Championship Wrestling. He has been in the main event picture, and as soon as I got in there, he disappeared for those 6 months. But now that he's back, my eyes are back on him. And you two, Billy and John, you are so focused on Greek Savage to a point where you think PJ is going to take advantage of that. If he does, I think the problem is he's going to focus too much on the trust issues between them that he's not even going to be focusing on Ox. And I think if he does do that, which I think he might, that's going to cost him in the long run. With wrestling, it's never a short game. You always got to play the long game, and I think that's where he's going to fall short. So I don't know if it'll be this show or anything falls apart between Ox or Greek, or if it ever does, but I don't think it'll be a Vindication, and I think Ox Adams keeps the Savage Championship.
Well, here's actually something that you'll be very pleased to hear, Mr. Martins, because your match at Off the Rails, I'm not announcing who it's going to be against, but it will be a #1 contenders match, and the winner will be fighting whoever the Savage Heavyweight Champion is after Off the Rails at the next show. That would be Battle in the Burrow Part 3. And we got plenty. And I'll tell you this, we got plenty more to get into on this show. But, Mr. Martins,
apologies.
Who do you think at the end of it all will be walking out of Off the Rails as the champion? If Ox Adams is walking out of Vindication as champion, does he walk out of Off the Rails as champion?
Well, it all depends on who the opponent is. Like I said, I don't know if Greek Savage and Ox Adams are going to be falling apart anytime soon, and if that's going to cost them the championship. There's so many variables with that whole duo that it could fall apart at Vindication, it could fall apart at Off the Rails, it could fall apart later on, or never fall off at all. So we just got to see how the thing falls out. But I think if Ox Adams can walk away with PJ Savage, I don't know if anybody's momentum can stop Ox at all.
It's going to be a very interesting dynamic going into Vindication and, of course, into Off the Rails? Will it be PJ Savage versus the world or Ox Adams versus the world? Only time will tell. But we will actually go to another match that is going to play a huge factor into what happens at Off the Rails. But before we do, one more time, thank you to everyone who is watching right now. You are all fantastic. Thank you to Billy John and, of course, the real Jack Martins for being on the show tonight. Let us shift gears now, because we have two new women who will be making their way to Rutherford, New Jersey on April 11th at Vindication. I'm talking about Miss Amira Sahar, one of House of Glory's top female prospects. A lot of great intensity coming from that woman, taking on former Ring of Honor women's wrestler Vita Von Star. Now, this match, quite interesting, because these two women looking to make a name for themselves here in Rutherford, their first time in Rutherford. Vita Von Star, it's been a while since she's had gold, and I have been hearing that she is basically obsessed with getting back a championship, at least some semblance of gold, back in her possession. I had her on the last stream 2 weeks ago with Mr. John Blaine. She tried to keep her cool, but I could tell behind the calm demeanor that she is looking to get a championship opportunity. Now, this is a number one contenders match to see who will be fighting for the Victory Pro Wrestling Women's World Championship, but only if Tiffany Grady, the current champion, can hold it until Off the Rails as we speak. Now, Tiffany Grady, she's been on the run of her career right now. She currently holds 4 women's championships. You can wrap your head around that. 4 women's championships simultaneously. One of those championships just so happens to be the VPW Women's World Championship that she's kept since last summer. But we will go to the real Jack Martins first. Let us discuss what's going down at Vindication. Who do you believe will be advancing to Off the Rails to fight Tiffany Grady?
Now, I will admit, I'm more than man enough to admit that I am not familiar that much with these two. But if I'm going to judge a book by its cover right now, Vita looks like she'd rip my head off. If I'm being honest. Those arms are probably bigger than mine. And it looks like she's ready to choke out anybody who comes across her. So I'm going to give the edge to Vita. But I will say you are right about Tiffany. She is on the run of her career. Tiffany, I'm very interested in seeing what happens with her going forward. And I don't know if anybody's going to stop that, not even somebody who looks like a serial killer like Vita. So we'll have to see how that match goes. But as far as I'm concerned, Vita's got this one in the bag.
Mr. Blaine, what say you?
After we had Vita on and she scared the shit out of both you and me, I think
scared?
The edge to Vita on this one. The way she was talking, you can go back and watch it. Yeah, she's going to be inflicted a lot of violence.
Yeah, I think I may have to have a police car outside of St. Mary High School on that day.
Might be a smart decision.
Yeah, I know, right? Billy, this is the first time that you're hearing about this match. And I can imagine that you have been looking forward to talking about this match. What is your expertise analysis on this match, and who do you believe will be advancing to Clifton, New Jersey?
I need to know more about Amira. I do. But holy crap, after that interview you guys had with Vita Von Star, I could tell you were afraid, first off. Especially you, John.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, sure, DJ.
I don't know what you're talking about. No.
I cannot wait. I don't want to be too biased here because I'm honestly just going to beg you to let me call this match. So.
You will. You will. Don't worry. You and me more time.
In that case, they're both incredible opponents, and I am completely down the middle.
And I'm actually going to have this match kick off the show because why the hell not?
Ooh, awesome.
This is going to be an interesting one, and I certainly hope that people are going to have their eyes on this one. Now, here's a good question. I know we've had 2 people already say Vita. If Vita goes to Off the Rails, does she beat Tiffany Grady?
Tiffany Grady to the moon. She's killing it. She's not quitting anytime soon.
And unfortunately, I think it's I would be remiss if I didn't mention that Tiffany Grady does have the Greek Savage in her corner.
Yeah. But still, I still love her. It's weird. I still love her.
And Greek Savage actually helped her win the
I know.
CCW Women's World Championship a couple of weeks ago back in Elmhurst, that Legacy 2. It's unbelievable.
Listen, let's just make it clear, too. Bigger upsets have happened in wrestling. Let's not count out Amira just yet.
Absolutely.
Amira could go on and take on Tiffany, and hell, who knows? She can even maybe end the reign of Tiffany Grady as we know it. We don't even know yet.
Well,
So we can't count out anybody as of right now. But I will say Tiffany is on the run of the year, century, decade, whatever you want to call it. Tiffany is on top right now. So it's a lot of work for both of these women, whoever comes out on top at Vindication.
I'll tell you this. If you guys have not looked up Amira Sahara, I would highly encourage you to check her out. She actually does have a match coming up tomorrow, I do believe, for House of Glory. I think she's taking on Gabby Forza, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
very nice.
Damn.
Yeah,
I'm not counting her out at all. Like I said, I'm just really terrified of Vita.
Yeah, she has a very calm demeanor to her, but at the same point in time, it's a very calm demeanor that's very enticing until you actually get close to her.
It's the quiet ones you gotta watch out for.
If you're coming from House of Glory, you're nothing to be messed with.
Oh, absolutely. Right. Let's actually shift gears to the tag team scene, and I'm actually interested to talk about this match, and it's going to be interesting to hear both Billy's analysis and Jack's analysis on this one, because this big tag team match involves two teams that have never fought before. Okay. Two teams that are looking to make a name for themselves in their debuts in Rutherford, New Jersey. I'm talking about the Shot Callers taking on Micah and Seth Cortez, collectively known as the Audacity. Now, for Billy and Jack, let me give you a little backstory about what's been going on recently. This is the Shot Callers' debut, first ever Vindication, and their debut in Rutherford. But here's the thing. While the Audacity do have the experience advantage, the Audacity have not been doing too good here in North Jersey. See, they lost to the Now at Battle in the Borough 1. They lost to Misery Inc. at Battle in the Borough 2. And in addition to that, it took Rick Recon helping them retain the TCW tag team titles at Off the Rails last year against the Silk City Kings. So there's a couple questions circulating when it comes to the Audacity, and one of them is the Audacity still the illest tag team in the game? That question remains to be answered, and it will be answered in my eyes. I think it will be answered at Vindication. We'll start off with Billy here. What are your thoughts on this match?
I don't want to ever think that the Audacity is not the illest, but yeah, you have such a good point. They have been having a lot of problems lately. But at the same time, that might fuel them more, knowing that they've been doing so not so great, and they don't. Yeah, that's tough, man. I don't want to vote against. I don't want to lean against them, but I really leaning towards the Shot Callers here because of the fact that the Audacity, because of the momentum and the lack thereof.
Well, it's all going to come down to one thing: can the Audacity put the history of the past behind them? John Blaine, I know that you've talked about this match before, but for anyone that hasn't heard, please tell us your expertise analysis on this match, and who do you think will walk out with the win?
This one's a tough one. I think you can look at it from both sides. Yes, the Shot Callers do have the momentum. Obviously, they're doing great right now in ISPW. But then look at the Audacity. This isn't their first time together. They've been at this a while now, but all the losing streak doesn't help. And is that going to also play the mind games with them a little bit? Is that going to play do we still have it? As far as who wins this, I hate to say it, I think it's going to be the Audacity.
Really? You think the Audacity is finally going to get back on the right track? That's going to be an interesting one. Mr. Jack Martins. Now, this is an interesting one because you've shared a locker room with the Audacity, and you know that the Audacity, they have been holding the TCW tag team titles for almost 14 months now. They actually got a big match coming up on Saturday against the Bling and the Bite, but it was Jay the Key Evans that got you into this business. So let me hear, what are your thoughts on this match?
Unfortunately, I will say I'm going to be very biased with this choice. When it comes to Jay and Flash, I am friends with them. We are very good friends. Obviously, like I said, Jay is the person who got me into the business in terms of introducing me to people who can train me, who can help me get to where I needed to be. But the Audacity are a part of the TTA. They are my stablemates in Titan Championship Wrestling. And like you said, they have held those titles for, what is it, 14 months?
Almost 14
at this
months.
Point? I think that's nothing to sneeze at. And the shot callers are great, and they've been on one hell of a run. But the Audacity are my boys, and the Audacity are going to win, hands down.
You know what? I think I'm going to have to agree with you. I actually think that the Audacity, I think that based on what's been going on every single time they come to North Jersey, I think they're operating under the sense, and they don't have to because, I mean, they've had a career that many tag teams would kill for, but I think they're operating under the guise that they have something to prove, which kind of scares me a little bit because can you imagine what the Audacity with something to prove could actually be capable of?
I think about 14 months as tag team champions is what they're capable of.
Yeah, I mean, that should tell you all you need to know.
And you never even know. You never know. The shot callers might have had a wild night the night before. You never know how they're walking into a show from the night before.
I know. I mean, how many clubs do these guys hit?
Dude, don't even ask.
I'm actually genuinely curious, bro.
You don't even want to see their Snapchat stories. It's way too long.
Oh, God.
Well, good thing I don't have Snapchat. We're going to move on here to a big match, and this one is a match that I am personally very much looking forward to calling, and I think I just might call it with you, Billy. And
okay.
this one is going to be very interesting. I'm talking about the Timeless Crowbar taking on none other than the Dominican Destroyer Vargas. Now, Vargas, I think he recently just won the ISPW World Heavyweight Championship for the first time in his career, so he's building quite the resume over at ISPW, and of course, he's been a mainstay over at WrestlePro. But little history here between Vargas and Crowbar. Crowbar actually used to be the mentor to Vargas, but clearly not this version of Vargas. Crowbar and his first match with Vargas took place back at the last Rescue Mania show ever, which I was on the call for back on October 6th, 2019, pre-COVID. And that match ended in a no contest. Then Crowbar was the ISPW Heavyweight Champion back at the beginning of 2024. And guess what? He fought Vargas down in Barnegat, New Jersey on January 20th, 2024. And Crowbar won via countout. Crowbar has never pinned Vargas' shoulders to the mat. And even crazier, this match is in Crowbar's hometown of Rutherford, New Jersey. So there's a lot of factors and a lot of layers to go into this match. But since Billy's going to be calling it, I think I'll go to her last. I'm actually going to start with Jack Martin's first. And I saw your reaction. I saw your reaction when I revealed this. I think that this, even though you're not on the show, I think this may entice you to buy a ticket.
It just might. Honestly, I've watched Crowbar my whole life, from going back and watching his older matches to as getting into the business and helping out with any show I could get on, seeing him wrestle from behind the curtain and seeing how far Vargas has come this far. It's very impressive, and seeing all the championships he's racked up over the years. This man is a destroyer. But again, same with Tony Cini and Big Ant. I think experience is going to play a huge part in this one. And I think Crowbar, you said it yourself, he is timeless. Crowbar never runs out of steam. He is forever Crowbar. And I think he's walking out of this one, maybe not in the way you may think. Maybe it will be another count-out situation. Maybe it'll be DQ. Who knows? But I think one way or another, Crowbar is getting the W here.
Well, here's something that I'd like to pitch. And I don't know if many people know this, but Vindication is not the first wrestling event to take place in St. Mary High School. The first and only wrestling event to take place in St. Mary High School was Crowbar's Rescue Mania Never Forgotten show back on April 14th, 2019. And Crowbar had a match on that show. He had the best match on that show, a no-holds-barred match against none other than the bad boy, Joey Janela. And Joey beat him. Joey Janela walked into Crowbar's hometown, Crowbar's own promotion, and beat him. So I do have to ask, will that play into effect 7 years later?
I think time is way past on that one. I think Crowbar has said 7 years to learn from his mistakes in that one, and I think he will not make the same mistake twice.
Good answer. John Blaine, what you got?
I'm really looking forward to this one. I've had a chance to see Crowbar wrestle down at Battleground in Philly quite a few times. I was actually on the call for a couple of his matches. And this guy, the fact he's been at this for 30 plus years now is insane.
35, dude. 35.
Also, he's one of me. I think he is one of 2 wrestlers who have wrestled for every major promotion.
Yeah.
Yes. Throughout history.
Yeah. Him and Christopher Daniels.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Insane.
And I think as much as I don't want to piss Vargas off because I've seen him in action before, I got to agree. I think it's going to be experience with this one. I think with Crowbar, he doesn't look like he's getting older.
Timeless.
Yeah. And I think that's what it comes down to is I got to give him the edge on this one.
All right, then let me ask you this. Because you said you mentioned that you were on the call for a lot of Crowbar's matches. One of them just so happened to be at Battle in the Borough 1, and that was the main event of Battle in the Borough 1. You and I, Mr. Blaine, we were on the call for that match, and it was none other than a CCW World Heavyweight Championship match against the Greek god Papa Don. We all thought that Crowbar had it in the bag. Papa Don got the job done. Will that play into effect here?
Yeah, because I think he's gotten bigger and more focus now than back from that last show.
That's fair. That's fair. Billy, you're going to be on the call for this match with me.
I'm stoked. First off, thank you for the opportunity.
That's what I do.
This is going to be good, dude. Vargas has impressed me for years at this point, and he's at the top of his game right now. Maybe I did know and forgot. I'm much older than all of you, but I wasn't sure about the mentorship situation here. And I love a good story. So I'm totally sucked in, even more so than I was before. But the Timeless Crowbar, the show's name is Vindication. It's in the same building. It's the whole story you just told me. Oh, my heart is with Crowbar. I hope. And not only do I think he's going to win, I'm being bold. I think it's a 1-2-3 pin.
We're going to have to wait and see what happens at Vindication. You know what? I think I may go with Crowbar. Because why the hell not? Why the hell not? The Crowbar is the guy that comes into the business.
Wasn't that show you were talking about? Wasn't that like the big night for DJ Storms?
That was the last ever Rescue Mania event. It was Rescue Mania 7, October 6, 2019. I remember that show very well. A lot of matches were on that show. It was Adam Chandler versus Nikos Ricos, Vinny Pacifico versus J. George Thunderheart, Crowbar versus Vargas, Prince Josiah versus Bull James, and Gunner Trash defended the North American Championship against Bruno on that night.
Wow.
And
I'm very excited.
Victory over Bruno. That's the crazy part about it. But we do have one more match to go over. And this one, I think that you guys are going to very much enjoy going over because this match is probably the most personal match that is going down at Vindication. And it will be the main event. It will be the main event. It is going to be none other than an unsanctioned Texas Tornado tag team match. The Silk City Kings will be taking on Rick Recon and Ray Calitri. Now, for those of you that do not know the history of this entire match, let us go back to Battle in the Borough 1. I was there. John Blaine was there. It was Kenny Bangle versus Rick Recon for the first time ever in Elmwood Park, New Jersey. Everyone had Rick Recon to win that match. Kenny Bangle beat him. It was probably one of the biggest upsets that I've personally seen. Then we moved to Off the Rails in May. And at Off the Rails, the Silk City Kings had the opportunity in a Tornado Tag Team match to beat the Audacity and become the TCW Tag Team Champions. And Rick Recon showed up in a mask and a hoodie, bashed Kenny Bangle in the back with a baseball bat, and just absolutely clobbered Bulldog Pittman right in the face with the baseball bat and cost him the tag team titles. Then we go to Battle in the Borough 2, which I will play for you here, where Rick Recon tag teamed with Papa Don against the Silk City Kings.
Cutter!
Oh, Pittman's on the top rope.
Frog splash!
Oh, Recon's gotta be done.
Best served cold. Recon's on ice. Now Papa Don.
Oh my God!
Ring.
That was a 3. Unbelievable.
That is disgusting.
Typical Papadon.
And Papadon.
Oh!
No!
Pittman going after Papadon accidentally took out the ref.
Pittman took out the ref.
Oh,
the referee is out for
turning
the time
to chaos.
being.
Absolutely. Oh no! Pittman into the post.
Papadon knew that we were going to see Kenny Bangle beat Rick Recon again. Lightning was about to strike twice. And now Bangle, body avalanche to the, wait a minute, Recon's
got a bat.
Wait a minute, Recon's out of it for the time being, and Papadon tried to get the baseball bat.
And now Recon has it.
Recon!
Oh, Bangle
got the bat. Bangle with the scissor kick. Oh my God! And the same bat that Recon used to cost the Silk City Kings the title.
But we don't have a ref.
May have just cost them once again.
Oh, here comes the ref.
Here comes Sean Pashota. And history will not repeat itself.
Unbelievable.
Even then, that was not enough for Rick Recon. And if you don't believe me, well, then you're going to have to take a look at this video that Rick Recon ended up sending me. He told me to plaster it all over my social medias. And like I've said before, I don't even recognize the guy anymore. Take a look.
So tired. I'm so tired of seeing Kenny Bangle. I'm so tired of seeing Ray Pittman. I'm tired of seeing the Silk City Kings. Okay? I beat them. I pinned them. Pinned and beat Kenny Bangle. I'm the one who knocked you out with the bat. And you're still here. You still want more. Did I give you an incredible case of CTE? Did I give you a lifetime concussion? That you want more of this? You want more of me? Fine. You get me. You'll get more. You'll get all you could ever possibly want. No holds barred. Unsanctioned. Unsanctioned. That means there's no law, no rules, nothing. No one can save you. Not the company, the referees, not the law. No one. You're mine. And it will end you once and for all, Bangle. And your little dog too.
So needless to say, people, it's very, very hard for me to watch what the man has become, considering that this was the guy that really talked to me about a lot, including, and I even mentioned this back at Battle in the Borough 2 when me and Billy called this match. He talked to me a lot about earning your place in life, discipline over motivation, working hard. Needless to say, that man's dead and gone. That man is completely dead and gone, and one loss has completely sent him over the edge. And considering all that, I'm actually going to throw it over to Jack Martins first, because I do want to hear what he has to say in regards to this big unsanctioned tag team match. Will Rick Recon's obsession finally be put to rest? Will he finally get some inner peace? Or is the Silk City Kings going to get their measure of revenge?
I think his obsession is what's going to cost him. I think he's focusing a little too much on the past and not enough on the present. And I think with it being an unsanctioned tornado tag team match, I think that's where the Silk City Kings are really going to shine and be able to not have to worry about the rules and worry about themselves and being a unit rather than having to save each other when the time comes right. So in that case, with Rick Recon's obsession getting the better of him and Silk City Kings being able to work as a unit throughout the whole match, not just in little bursts, I think that's where the Silk City Kings will come out on top.
Very well put. John Blaine, let me hear it.
I said this to you last time. This is the one match I'm looking forward to because I think this is going to be this could be a fight. My big thing with this though, how can you trust Ray Calitri? I'm just going to say it right now.
I don't know if you can because, to be quite honest with you, I mean, Ray Calitri was one of the guys that Rick Recon went to war over back in ISPW for the ISPW heavyweight title. I mean, Rick Recon beat both Ray Calitri and GKM back in June of 2024 for the ISPW heavyweight title.
So with that being said, where's his loyalty going to be? And I think Jack said it before, and I've said this last couple of weeks, it's going to be the obsession with him. I think it's going to end up being his downfall.
Billy, I think that you'll be happy to know that you will be calling this match with me.
Heck yeah.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm like spoiling the hell out of you right now.
No, it's okay. You're making me want to come down to Jersey more, dude. Thank you.
I mean, if Jersey didn't have me, what would it have? Sorry, Jack. Sorry, Jack. Sorry, Jack. I'm sorry, dude. He's probably going to cancel his obligations with me now.
Forgive him. His ego doesn't. It's still there somewhere.
No. Jack's on.
Just kidding. Okay, so this match. Holy crap!
All right, go ahead, Billy.
You're good. We are off the rails, ironically.
Yeah, I know, right?
First off, you saw my faces watching Mr. Recon. He's unrecognizable. Like I was friends with this man at one point. I just don't know what has snapped. I guess no offense, Jack, but I think all wrestlers are a little fragile sometimes. So maybe something snapped on him. But the thing that I was hoping somebody would bring up is his partner's Ray Calitri. He doesn't have Papa Don in his corner this time. It's Ray Calitri. So I don't know if that's going to affect. I mean, Ray hasn't forgotten the past, I'm sure. What does he care about Rick's crazy obsession? So
he doesn't, but I'll tell you what he does care about: the main event spotlight.
Exactly. But if it comes down to something stupid of Recon doing exactly what Jack said, letting himself be distracted by this obsession with Kenny Bengal, I think Calitri's going to care a lot less about his nonsense. So, and removing both of them from the situation, which is really hard for me, but I'm Silk City Kings for life, baby.
I can definitely imagine. And you know what? I can't say I disagree with you there. Seems as though we might be Silk City Kings across the board here. But ladies and gentlemen, I think that is a wrap. That is a big wrap on the countdown for Vindication part number 4. Thank you to everyone who came out to watch us talk about these two big events going down this spring. And of course, thank you to Billy John and the real Jack Martins. Before we get out of here, one more time around the table, where can everyone find you on social media? Billy, let's start with you.
Just look up your friend Billy or Billy Ann Wolf on Facebook. Find me everywhere. Just look, make sure you spell Billy right. It's an IE.
Yeah, I know, right? John Blaine.
Just search John Blaine on Facebook, Around the Ropes. We're live every Tuesday night. And DJ Storms, I actually have a proposition for you for the kickoff show, but I'll talk about it after. You want me to do it now?
Yeah. What's the proposition, bro? What is it? We gotta end on something big, bro.
One-on-one sit down with myself and Rick Recon.
Ooh.
Live.
I'll see if I can actually get him. I don't know if he will, but I'll try and get him.
I'm throwing it out there.
Rick's probably watching this right now. I know he creeps in every now and then. We'll have to wait and see. But nevertheless, One Pack Jack, let me hear you.
You can find me on pretty much anything, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere on Real Jack Martins. Just look up my name and make sure you spell it right with the MAERTENS, and you will find me, I promise.
And ladies and gentlemen, I'm DJ Storms. You already know where to find me. Check out all the links in the description. This has been the countdown for Vindication Part 4. But there's one last thing we need to do, and it's very, very important. I know a lot of people seem to have forgotten this every now and then. We'll start with Billy. I think Billy knows the answer to this. John Blaine knows the answer to this. Jack, you'll learn the answer to this pretty soon. Billy, who runs the IWC?
DJ Mother Rican Storms.
You're damn right I do. John Blaine?
DJ Storms.
Damn right. Jack, I think you got the picture.
I think it's the Real Jack Martins. I think that's who.
Yeah!
Why did I have a sneaking? All right, you know what? Considering all right, now you consider us even now. Consider us even. Unbelievable. But ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys have an awesome, awesome weekend. I'll catch you guys in 2 weeks.
Retribution! Oh yeah, we want retribution! Oh yeah, we want retribution! Oh yeah, we want retribution! Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boil up with the cold hard hatred. I can feel the vibration. Beat in the street.